Oh boy, do we have a show for you tonight in the final round of Season 5 of the Aussie Racing League's Academy Division. 4 drivers still realistically in the chance of taking out the title. Kufu Cowboy, VK Snoopaloop and Siphon. And it's all going to come down to how they can manage this very difficult and demanding circuit. Let's take a look at it. 4.3 kilometres in length, 17 turns in total, 3 DRS zones and some tight twisty sections to keep you on your toes. It's the final run for Academy. Let's join our commentary team.
Hello everybody, my name is Nick and today I'm joined by Apex, and yes, it is long awaited. It's been 7 long weeks and it's time for week number 8. We hope you had a good weekend and we've had a good Monday. Let's round off the day with the Academy finale. Say hello, Apex. How are you tonight?
Not bad, thanks. And yeah, very excited tonight. This is going to be the final race for our Academy division where we have, I think it's about 3 people in the hunt for the championship and also the constructors with Mercedes and Alfa Romeo trying to get the top step. How are you looking forward to it tonight, man?
Oh, I'm very looking forward to it. It's gonna be very close. This is one of those tracks where dive bombs. There was quite a few places for dive bombs. 3 DRS zones, as HK mentioned in the intro, and yeah, again, it's tied at the top. 7 points separating Svit and Snoop at the top. Those are your main 2 at the front for Alfa Romeo and Ferrari. But Kufu and Siphon, you can't forget them. Kufu only 4 points shy of Snoop as well. So yeah, in reality, he's right in there too. Siphon as well. By technicality, he's still in it, but he's got a lot of points to make up. By comparison, of course, if my maths doesn't fail me, it's 19 points between them. So he's going to have to rely on winning, and Svit finishing. If my maths is right, he needs to finish at least 8th or lower. But regardless, it's going to be a fantastic night of racing, and yeah. Constructors fight's very close as well. Alpha they're going to have a pretty good result to, I feel like, dethrone Mercedes from the top. But again, anything can happen. If this series has told us anything over the last 2 months, it's anything's possible.
Yeah, as you just mentioned, by the way, very close championship fight. Just trying to have a look at the standings at the moment. It only seems like we've only got about 4 people in contention for it, with Svit looking like the favourite for tonight. But yeah, with a 7-point lead, he's going to have a pretty much a terrible race, or finish 3rd or lower, and Snoopaloop to win if Snoop wants to take the championship. But Svit pretty much just needs to win tonight, and he will take home the title.
That is true, absolutely. eyeing up the prize for Season 5. And also eyeing up a tasty seat in the novice division for next season. Can't forget about that. As we see our first takers onto the track, the 2 McLarens of Feely and Belladat heading the way, followed by the Alpine of... Is that going to be Skip? It is Skipper. They're going to be the early pace setters, it looks like. A very short lap round here. Lap times we're expecting 1 minute 18s, 1 minute 19s, something in that sort of area. But yeah, what kind of wing settings do you generally run around this circuit? Because you have a lot of long straights, but you also have that, in my opinion, evil second sector with all those sweepers.
Very tricky wing setup around here, but I casually like to run 2217 because the middle sector, it's basically like if you have a little bit higher wings there, you can get away with that massive long straight at the start of the lap is like where you would lose all your time that you just gained if you're running high wings around here. So it's basically just like what wings you want to run if you want to be better in the middle sector, better in the last. So it's very tricky to what you want to do, but in my honest opinion, I would probably run with lower wings straight.
Yeah, you can't really go wrong with that, can you? Yeah, of course, it can act as a bit of a trump card for you, can't you? I mean, you lose, say, half a second during the twisties, but if you can pull that back on the main straight and size yourself up for a dive into turn 1, you can almost cover yourself.
Yeah, so we've got a few people out on out laps at the moment. I do think Skipper and Philly and Belladette all about to start their laps. And I think they actually are on their laps right now. So if I can see what these guys can set for the benchmarker pace, see if anyone can beat it on their first laps. Also, Zilla is about to start his laps, same as Mercy and Schmuck. So we're just seeing what people can produce on their first bankers. So
yeah. We see the two McLarens go through sector 1. Philly with Belladette with a 29.1 in the first sector. I believe Philly may have been slightly quicker, to be honest. It's already escaped my mind. Only up in 10 seconds ago. But going through this twisty second sector, this is where we're going to get our first idea, our first clues as to what kind of setups people are running. When you can see people sort of trying to link these corners together nicely, you're constantly sacrificing your run through one sweeper to get a good run through the next.
Yeah, just like I mentioned the other way, Nat has just blocked Philly on his first run, so I do think he is saving a bit of ERS to be able to go again. So yeah, very unfortunate there for Philly. He didn't validate, but yeah. So we've got Belladette now. Will be the first person to finish his lap. So he comes to the line. That's a 1:19.2.
Solid first lap. Oh, Skipper with an 18.5 straight away, jumping straight in. Very good form.
Oh, Mercy, a 17.6. That is a good lap. 9 seconds clear of Skipper. So yeah, Mercy on the pace already today.
He has got the constructor's title on the mind, hasn't he? You see Nico just jump ahead of that as well with 17.6. Looks like my prediction was quite off after our first set of flying laps. We're already comfortably in the 17s. Oh, speaking of, it's championship leader Zvit comes through with a 17.2.
Do you just want to ride on board with Snooper Loop's lap just to see what he can do? So he's just about to start his lap. We're going to probably do a zero commentary lap just to watch what he can do.
That's
just want to take off all the track map and all that just to watch it.
Absolutely.
Does look to me that he has actually aborted that lap.
Looks like he may have, yeah. You saw him coming out of turn 3. He got a little bit snaky on the exit, and sensible decision maybe to back it off, especially going through those sweepers. It looked like getting a little bit understeer on the way through. Fair enough also to expect that coming from a fair few drivers, again, running such a low amount of wing, and they're trying to force so much through those front tyres as you flick from left to right. But as Rebelitz in chat has very well mentioned, Siphon put in the ultimate banker right now, a 17.1, looking like it'll be tricky to beat for the minute.
I do think that many people will actually reach the 16s today, and Snooper Loop is back out on his flyer. Let's see if he'll probably be able to, he just probably wants to set a lap. I can put him up there, but a top 5, pretty much looking like the championship at the moment, but Svit with not looking like the fastest like he did in USA, and also Nico's had an outstanding performances in the past few races. He's looking comfortable in P4, but Philly, he's doing really well in P3 at the moment. But so it's basically who's starting pole here probably one of those tracks you don't want to start pole. Because just that massive long straight down to turn one is an absolute pain to try and break the slipstream while keeping like to the oars. I do see an Alfa Romeo has spun. I do actually think, if I'm not mistaken, that was Schmuck, so hopefully he can get back into the pits to put on some new tyres. But yeah, this track is very difficult to start on pole with that massive slipstream and heading into turn one. So starting from like third, fourth, or maybe even second is probably like one of the best positions to start here, but doesn't defeat the fact that you always want to take pole here.
Yeah, absolutely true. Yeah, everyone's going to be very heavy on their batteries as well coming on that line. There we go, Snoop with this first lap, 17.9. Not a bad first flying lap, but he'll be looking to improve, as will pretty much everybody out there, without any shadow of doubt. Yeah, we're starting to see our first takers of second stints on the next fresh set of tyres. Svit, namely one of them. As we see, Cappy's had got himself a penalty. What's happened there?
He's hit San Marino, but San Marino's in the pits.
They both are. Maybe it was just on the entry to the pits or the last couple of corners. I'm not sure.
May have been, yeah.
But regardless, that is not looking good for Ferrari. Oh, Lee. It looks like Snoop won't have himself a rear gunner heading into the race.
Yeah. I'd like to mention, by the way, a few other people I think are going for second runs. Belladat, who's not looking pretty comfortable in the car today, down to 16th place. Same as Cappy, who's usually actually quite fast. But Belladat must have just not had the best of bankers, so he's back out there trying to set a lap. But looks to me that, yeah, he has just lifted off his lap. So a few people out there are aborting, because this track is very tricky to put a lap down. But if anybody wants to predict who will take pole, say in the chat right now. If you're right, I'll give you a cookie.
Yeah, that's right. I love a good punt.
Yeah. But, yeah, some people not looking like the strongest today, but you got to remember that this track is tricky and always will bring out probably even a safety car in the direst of moments. So it's anyone's game today here.
Oh yeah, if any track will bring out safety cars, it's definitely this one. We saw a fair few at Austin as well last week across our 4 divisions, and yeah, plenty of long straights and heavy braking as we see Svit get risky with a quick attempt at trying to get some slipstream on the run into turn 1. But Nico has jumped through to grab pole by just shy of a 10th. 17 flat, well, that close to the 16s.
Yeah, very nice lap there from Nico. Someone in the chat, Streamboy, has predicted that Philly will be taking pole. Hello, Drix. And yeah, so if you just want to ride on board with Svit, have a nice look at his lap as well.
I reckon you're right on the money.
Okay, commentate on this one.
Yeah, down by half a tenth in the sector 2. Sector 1, sorry.
Out of all the drivers in Academy, Svit looks just so planted with his car. He looks awesome through that middle sector, hitting every apex. Riding along to the white line. Is he up in the middle sector?
He sure is.
He sure is. 1/10. We'll put him into the 16. Oh no, sorry. We'll put him in front of Siphon. But yeah, can he perfect the last sector? Very nice. Hugging the apex. Now will he run the inside line? Try to get the line. His teammate Naps goes third. What will Svit do? Go to the top. 17 flat.
Exactly 1/100th of a second. Very, very close. So to talk over the W.
So our championship leader definitely demonstrating that he is the one to chase today. And he is looking like the hunter. So what can he do on his last lap? 7 minutes to go. He'll probably want to try and get back into the pits to try and put on that final set of softs and go for a final run.
Absolutely. Of course, this track being so short, you do have the opportunity to have 3 stints and still have ample time to make the most out of each set of tyres.
Oh, Siphon, 16.9. We've got our first person to break into the 16.9s. So yeah, he was on a lap that I forgot to actually show. So sorry about that. But yeah, so the grid is being rearranged right now. Siphon going almost like a tenth quicker than Svit, and also Naps being able to move himself up in the 5th, but I think he's actually on a flyer at the moment. I have to look, but yeah, he is actually. Or as he cuts the stadium section, so invalidates his lap.
There you go. Fortune favours few, as we've seen in this league very often. Let's have a look. We have Zilla coming around just to finish a hot lap. He's currently in P12. We saw him performed well in the last 2 rounds in Suzuka in America, and indeed here he is up in P6 just like that. Solid form from him, 17.5, comfortably on the 3rd row. Actually, I say comfortably, there's only about a 10th between himself and Mercy Hamilton, who came out swinging at the start of this session, set the first proper quick lap. We'll see what he brings out now. He's just on an outlap on another fresh set of softs. Curious to see, because I think he has solid pace to be right up at the front. He showed shades of it early in the season.
Yeah, I think he did take our first win in Academy Division, putting him at the front of the championship. He did actually take, was it Monza? I'm pretty sure he did win. So he is our winner, but just the past few races he hasn't looked comfortable in his DNF, so he hopes to probably get back to the top where he does look like he deserves to be, as his teammate has left the session. But yeah, so not many people are on laps at the moment. Mercy seems to be starting his lap, and so does Zilla. Oh no, Zilla has aborted, it seems. And also Nico looks to be trying to start his lap, so he has aborted his lap.
Absolutely. We've also got title combatant Snoop Loop starting his next flying lap. He's just gone through the first 3 corners. We'll see his first sector split at the end of this next straight. Curious to see where he'll end up. Also worth mentioning, of course, Kufu Cowboy, one of our title combatants, comparatively in the middle of nowhere at the minute. P11 and, of course, just left the session. So maybe internet troubles, maybe pace problems, not sure, but it's not going his way so far. And there isn't a lot of time to make up for it.
He's going to have to join back as quick as possible if he wants to try get a lap. But knowing such a short lap, he probably can join back and get in, like, to set a lap properly. But, yeah, Nico is also on a lap at the moment. He seems to be actually up right now, which will put him in front of Spit if he finishes his lap. But, yeah, top 5 having only 2 temps in between them. This is what we'd love to see. This is going to be such an interesting end to the qualifying and always exciting.
Oh, yeah, as Snooper Loop catches me out, thinking he was going to finish that lap. No, he doesn't. He jumps into the pits. He was 6/10 up through the 2nd sector.
Yep.
So he's going to take one last swing at this, it looks like. As we see a lot of people in the pits at the minute. Let's have a quick look. Who's still out on track? Mercy Hamilton's
Nico, I think, has aborted, though. He has got Recon in front of him, but he was 2 tenths down and did actually have a big moment in the middle sector. So I do, yeah, he is coming to the pit, so he has aborted his lap. But is it the only person that is on the lap at the moment is Hazahawk, Schmuck, and Smarino. So, and Smarino has boxed. These Alpha Tauros have not had the best of luck this season, and sucks for them. I know they're quick, but like, yeah, Schmuck just not being involved in a lot of incidents, and he just started his lap with 60% ERS. I don't think he'll be able to even make it to the end of the straight.
Oh, it gets used up quicker in here, doesn't it? When you're racing around this circuit, and you're trying to gain as much ERS as you can for those long straights, are the braking zones long enough to, properly recover a good solid amount over a lap or two? Or are you struggling? Is it one of those circuits like Suzuka where you're, constantly struggling to try and find charge?
Well, Suzuka's actually quite easy to save battery because you can lift into those long corners. But the one track like Coda, that was so hard to recharge your battery, or Schmuck actually invalidates him into the middle sector.
I got them confused.
I haven't done a test run around here, so I couldn't actually tell you if, what's it called? The ERS does deploy like that, but for me, the best thing I can probably say is that you can with that slow section in the middle sector and the last sector, so I think you could actually recharge, but knowing this track is pretty much just all straights, so, yeah, it could be a little difficult, but we'll just come and see. There's a lot of people actually peeling out of the pits now, starting their final laps. Pretty much everyone except Kufu and only Kufu. So everyone is out on track at the moment.
Yeah, track's filled up real quick over the last 60 seconds. What's that going to... Are we going to see some close proximity hot laps right now? We've got a field backing up on coming onto the first of the two. I want to say this circuit has 2 back straights. It feels like it sometimes. As we see people, giving space to one another. No one wants to deal with dirty air. This is your last chance, more or less, for the final quality of the season to get yourself right up at the front where everything counts. So, well, yeah, you don't want to make it.
Hazahawk has retired. Where was Hazahawk? Did he... Looks to be that he's just retired out of the session.
Yeah,
Oh
in
no,
turn
no, yeah,
3 or
no, he
4.
has. He's actually spun at exit of turn 4.
He has 2. You see Svit's gone round on coming through the end of the second sector as well. He's had to recover. Not good for our title leader, but again, he's still in a comfortable position. Although, how comfortable will it be as we see these guys, namely Siphon, Nico, and Philly, as they come through for their last final of flying laps? It's going to be pretty close, I reckon.
Yeah, and you can just tell that some people want to try and get pole position here, and you can see that it's just so closely matched. And you can see that Philly looks to have backed off. Yep, so he's just waiting for his final run. We've only got 51 seconds left remaining in the session. So we've got Spit on a lap, Siphon on a lap, Nico on a lap. All our top 3 are now heading onto laps. Naps is on a lap, who just seems to have understeered a bit wider in the middle sector. So he does look like he's struggling.
It's very fine margins here from sector by sector. Nico was up by 900ths over that first sector, which at that pace would get him pole, but what's everybody else doing? Let's have a quick look. I'm going to keep my eyes on Siphon as he comes through these sweepers.
Yeah.
His car again staying very sticky, so...
No, it's all good. Savit is also up 200, so he's not really improving that much, but I do think he did have a lot of time in that middle sector, which he looks like he is to be gaining. But yeah, as you mentioned, by the way, our current person on provisional pole looks to be completely unstable of this car. Comes around the final corner, comes up to the line. What will he be able to set? A 16.8. That is the lap to catch, and that was a lovely lap. And Nico goes a 16.7, so a lovely lap from Nico there. Goes almost 1/10 quicker than Nico, or as a Savit, sorry, is actually being held up a little bit on the final corner. There he comes to the line. He sets only a 16.8, so he misses out on pole. Or as Philly is in the barrier, so Philly has hit the wall and lost his front wing. So Philly
as well
is out of qualifying. Naps has just gone into the pits. There's no one else that looks to be improving. I've got Catino, who actually has had really good pace today and looks to be doing well in the middle sector, but doesn't seem like he has enough battery to last the rest of the lap.
That's true, he's already running fairly dry, isn't he? His teammate Free Slim Shady just up ahead of him, going through the stadium section as well. Evil sequence of corners can really easily catch you out on the throttle.
Goes a bit wide there. So I think he got a bit distracted there by Cuckoo Cowboy, and it looks, has he aborted? It doesn't look like he has. That was really nice in the final corner there. Will he be able to improve? Yeah, he does by 2 temps, so puts himself into the top 10. A nice lap there from Catino. Oh, sorry, he was already in the top 10, so he didn't seem to move up position. But yeah, that is the end of qualifying for our final qualifying session of Academy.
There you go, and red hot top 10 split by less than a second. So as far as pace, it's all very, very close around there at the minute, and yeah, less than a tenth separating the front row. So Spitz left the session. We're able to see him come back sharp, quick smart. As real quick, I'd like to say hello to Taza, saying hello to us in the chat. Hope you're having a good night.
Yeah, the top 3, you can definitely tell those guys are absolutely rapid, and they will be top favourites for the win today. But yeah, Nico seeming to edge out by half a temp over Spit and takes pole position for the Mexican Grand Prix. I'm not going to pronounce its real name because I kind of don't want to butcher it. But yeah,
Give it a go. Circuit Trois Rivières. Surely that's how it is.
Well, it was Fernando Rodriguez, but...
Oh, yeah. Hang on. Hang on a minute. Trois Rivières. Oh, that's the city. Close enough. Now.
Yeah, well, I'll give it to you.
Beauty. Right.
Yeah. Philly, lovely pace in the McLaren. 2 temps back, so it does look like he is not up with the top 3 drivers, but still with lovely pace. And Kufu Cowboy out of the top 10. Is he second or third in the championship?
Siphon is currently 4th in the championship at the minute.
No, Kufu Cowboy.
Kufu, sorry, I've gone deaf. Yeah. He's P3 at the minute, sorry. He's 4 points down on Snoop. Yeah, he's got a mountain to climb. I didn't see if he's rejoined the session yet. That could be...
Yeah, he did.
He did. Oh,
yeah.
Good. Thank goodness for that.
And Savit just joined as well. So, yeah, we've got 7 minutes countdown. And, yeah, Nick, you lead the way.
Beauty. It all comes down to this. 7 long weeks of getting yourself into this position, and it's a 4-horse race lining up on the grid. The red lights are coming on. Zvit's car's still ghosted for some reason. 5 red lights, and out they go. fairly even start for the front row. Svit's actually jumped at Nico, and Philly has jumped through on him too. They're going to go 3-1. They've already split him. Philly's got the best start of the lot. He's taken the lead on the run into turn 1. Svit dives up the inside. Is he going to keep it clean? They just about Philly hangs on to it though. Nico now side by side with Svit. So a little between these guys. Mercy Hamilton's had a fantastic start, jumped up to P4. As we see Svit go sideways on the exit of the corner, he's going to lose spaces to his teammate. Snoop goes 3 wide through the middle of them. The action's come thick and fast. What's happened to Naps? He's run way hot and just managed to avoid the drivers around him heading into the corner. Has to give up time. He'll probably have a penalty as well. Indeed he does.
Oh, Naps a big shove off the side. A very clean getaway for everyone there. Naps seeming to have actually dropped back a few positions there. Oh, sorry, going a bit wide. Mercy with an absolute stunning start. Well, Naps tries to go for an overtake in the middle sector. That was very risky, and it seems to have lost Mercy a few positions. But Svit is also now fighting Zilla, who seems to be actually have gotten the better. Actually goes a bit off track. Gonna have to redress. But Svit, oh, there's contact. Snoopaloop's been hit by Mercy heading into the stadium section. Has dropped back to P7, goes alongside Coutinho. We have got another yellow flag back in the pack. It seems to be Belladat. So one of the McLarens is off. One of the McLarens is in the mud and one's in the lead. No offense about that. But, yeah, so that was an absolute terror. Oh, someone's actually spun into the pit lane there. I think that was Skipper.
Looks like it was. Someone we forgot to mention, Siphon had a terrible start. He's down in P10 now, looking to dive bomb his title rival Kufu into turn 1. Not quite paying off for him, but oh god, that was a dicey first lap. Cars going everywhere. It was like now got a train.
All championship leaders there had an actually terrible start, but Coutinho seems to have used a bit of his battery there, seems to re-overtake Snoopaloop, but that's actually locked up a bit there, and Snoopaloop gets the undercut on one side heading into the mini stadium section. Oh, and Coutinho gives him space. They make contact a bit there. We have a yellow flag. Freeslam Shady is in the wall, sorry. So I think this might be our first safety car. Yes, it is.
Indeed.
So,
that did not take long.
Yeah, I don't actually know what happened at Freeslam Shady. That kind of went off my radar. But yeah,
likewise, yeah, it was somewhat further back in the pack, yeah.
Coutinho's going to edge past Snoopaloop there, but yeah, since the safety car has just come out, the Amazon strategy prediction has just come out. It will be hards to lap 20, then mediums to the end. So that's what most people seem to be running at this current moment. But we have got Coutinho and Philly, who look to be, I think they'll box around lap 16, lap 17. So that's the pit stop strat for today. And we've got 2 soft runners, your boy Cappy and Naps, who will probably benefit from this. We do get a free pit stop right now, but I can only see that Cappy is the only one who seems to be actually taking the risk, because I don't think he feels comfortable on those softs. He seems to be boxing for the hard, so he's got a free pit stop there.
Although they're not changing the wing, yeah, I don't know what was going on there. He's ended up starting on the softs, but that ended up lasting.
Oh, there's big contact in the main straight. Hasselhawk's lost his front wing. We've had an incident under safety car conditions, and Conrad is facing backwards with both tyres off on the main straight.
There he is. That's very
so
weird.
There has been contact. What has happened there?
Yeah, other than that's halfway through one of the longest straights on the calendar, and something's gone wrong. Maybe my main prediction is that something's gone wrong with everybody's deltas trying to check up and speed up to get within their times, and there's just been a collision here and there, people getting caught out. But regardless, in the case of Conrad and Hazard, that is not the way you want to end your season. Of course, Hazard's still in it, but he's got a lot of ground to make up and a pit stop to make. But yeah,
that's really ruined Hazardhawk's race, who has started on the hards. He's got only mediums to go to, so we'll be having to do a 2-stop today. But, yeah, I'm just so confused what will happen. We'll definitely be hearing about that in the post-race discussion. But, yeah, that was, I don't know, there's no comment I can really put on it. All I saw was Conrad's car just beached in the barrier, so I'm pretty sure having the Jello 2020 flashback, so, yeah, that was
too true.
On last night's race, or wherever you are in the world. This morning, America, time zone's terrible. But
you tell them.
Yeah.
Too true though. I'm agreeing with you. I'm with you 100% of the way.
Yeah, and Hazardhawk is pitting, of course, because he needs a new front wing. But yeah, I want to know what has happened there, as we've had a pretty adventurous first few laps. But yeah, it was massive shape up in the grid changes, with Philly taking the lead from third. That was a stunning start, which I don't think has been mentioned. I was Mercy goes a bit wide there, actually. A stunning start from Philly, who went from third into first. Nico seeming to drop down a position, but still looking very feisty. Naps, who was given a 5-second time penalty for having to avoid an incident. I do think there was a bit of bumping and shoving between him and Mercy. They were getting the elbows out in the first lap. So I do think he will try to appeal that, but we don't know yet. Zilla, lovely start. Eno also P10 to P6. That was an awesome start. Snoop, P9 to 7. That was an awesome start for Snoop as well. I do think he did actually go up into P6, but Coutinho seemed to have fought it back. Svit, our championship leader, looking right now that he is not looking comfortable. I don't think anyone close to him will actually, except Snoop, would take over the championship, as Snoop has to get 7 more points than Svit. But Svit not helping his championship case out. But the top 3, all 7, 8, 9, and even Siphon back in 10. This is going to be a tricky race for these guys to try and move up positions. But knowing how fast these guys are, this is going to be entertaining to watch them slice through the field.
Absolutely. And if you're in Svit's position at the moment, what's your plan? Is your plan to just sit behind Snoop? Because, you know, if you sit right behind Snoop throughout the whole rest of this race, you will have the championship in your hands because you have more race wins than him. But how tempted are you to go for the glory and take it right at the death? Also bearing in mind you've got the other 2 championship combatants right up behind you. It's not a lot of room to play with.
There is not. And knowing this track is probably one of the widest on the calendar compared to like Imola or Zandvoort. If there is a car in the middle of the track, there's a load of room to avoid. Like that main straight, honestly, in fact, looks like a runway in an airport. It's just really wide. But yeah, so this track, hopefully, there's a lot more chances for overtakes if that makes sense. Unlike Imola, where it's very narrow.
Yeah, absolutely. You're too right. Again, a lot of the circuits are running wide. You do get some parts of the track that are wider than others. It's the nature of the beast. But yeah, plenty of long straights and heavy braking. And the good thing about this circuit as well, it's not even just the heavy braking zones. So they switch back sections of corners, like that double right, that mini stadium section in the beginning of the second sector. If you can outsmart the person in front of you, push them into a little mistake, you can gain positions. As we see, Khufu Cowboys disconnected again. Looks like internet issues have returned. Go on his way.
No, hopefully the storms aren't affecting his internet at the moment, as I do think we'll get confirmation that safety car is in this lap, and there it is.
There you go. Just like that. Snap of the fingers. Now, of course, Philly currently is on the preferred tyre. At least for the start of the stint. However, we'll see when the crossover point occurs, because you've also got Coutinho as well in P6. He's on the mediums. As Philly's back in the pack right up now, they're trying to not go side by side with each other. When's he going to choose his moment to go? Not quite yet. It's right now. He's pulled up a massive gap, about a second to Nico already as they cross the line. Exactly what he would have been hoping for, is have Naps and Mercy Hamilton looking like they're going to get dicey already as soon as the green flag comes out.
Yeah, and people already trying to drain their battery into turn 1, so try and get past the overtake. We can see Sabit already trying to make an overtake on Snooper. We do actually see, I think, a Schmuck on Recon trying to go. Also, Azza on C Marino. But yeah, Khufu Cowboy is just losing a load of positions at the moment due to the fact that he's in AI. Skipper gets past Ballard out. There was a lot of position changes, but not much contact, which is always good to see. But yeah, sorry, I forgot that, here's it goes. Marino gets past Khufu Cowboy is losing a lot of positions at the moment. This is going to just affect these races even more.
That's right. Yeah, he's just rejoined the session. When will he be given back control of his car? But yeah, straight off the bat, he's lost 3 positions just in half a lap. So clearly, the AI strat isn't quite working for him as he comes through the middle sector now. Looks like he does have control of the car again, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, he does. Coming through the third sector now. He's already got a gap of a second and a half back up to C Marino ahead of him.
Coutinho has gone wide in the last sector. Looks like Snooperloo was going to actually have an act on it, but proceeds to actually fall back. As we do have a yellow flag in the back of the pack. It looks to be Siphon So Siphon,
it is. Has he
Siphon,
gone around?
yeah, one of the championship contenders, seems to have spun and is now, his day has gone from bad to worse. So this is going to be an absolute terrible day. And Svit now overtaking Snoopaloop. This is critical overtakes for the championship, and Snoop looks to have just gotten another warning for him to have cut the whole of turn 1. So Snoopaloop might be cracking under pressure a little bit here. But Svit moves his car up in the P7. And yeah, so Svit now on a charge, now has Catino in his mirrors, who seems to also be cracking a little bit. But this is spicing up, very entertaining.
He sure does. Again, Svit doing exactly what he needs to do. Keep his title rivals behind him. As, of course, Siphon, of course, going around in the final sector. He was already a bit of a dark horse for this championship. It was a bit far back, and it looks like, ooh, what's happened here? Mercy Hamilton's gone in wall.
Safety car. He seems to have just spun. He's got no front wing and no front left tyre. Seems to have just slammed it into the barrier. But that's Mercy out of today's race.
Goodness me, that is. Again, I was hoping, it would have been hoping to have a really good finish the season on a high, like he did in the first round of the season. It's like, it's just not worked out for him. As going through the middle sector, it can be very easy to lose the back end through those sweepers changing directions so in such quick succession. It looks like it's certainly bitten back. Actually, do we have some takers in the pits? Looks like we do. We have the likes of Zilla and Naps who are both coming in. What are they pitting onto? A set of mediums? They must do, because they've got no Solspot make it to the end, and yeah, they've got no other set of hards. So, interesting strategy, at least to me. It's not the sort of thing I would have picked, to be honest.
I mean, hards are basically like you just cannot kill them. So like, yeah, I do think that Naps will try to look to conserve his tyres, but Zilla onto mediums, that I do not understand. And also Belladat has pit onto hards, but yeah, this will actually benefit Cappy, by the way, who pit for hards at the start of the race. Already up into 13th, so trying to come back after a shock in qualifying. But yeah, I'd just like to mention, by the way, both Alpha Tauris are now in the top 10 after having a terrible season for the last race. Both of them, 7th and 8th, doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, the amount of they're making up ground through very good driving, and also actually just getting out of chaos. Speaking of, looks like Snoop's left the session again. Internet gremlins have come back. The one thing you don't have to deal with in real life. It's here goes, claimed another victim. Again, this is very crucial. He's P2 in the championship now, and hoping he can get back before the safety car comes back in, because when it does, he needs to be right up behind Zvit and making moves as soon as he can. Because we're already at, that's 1/4 distance, if I'm not mistaken. Just shy of a quarter distance, there we go. So, still plenty of time to make up for mistakes and things like that. Certainly the likes of Siphon will be trying to make the most of what's left in this race. There's, again, yeah, plenty of laps left. And anything, it's still anybody's race, I feel. Philly and Nico, they've had the pace up at the front at the minute. But yeah, still plenty of mandatory pit stops to be done. We speak of, it looks like it's Hazard. He's coming to the pits for a set of hards. He's going to join Belladat and Naps at the back, it looks like, to again, fresh set of hards train.
Yeah,
could work quite well for them from the end of the race, especially if we have a long green run.
Just like to mention, by the way, they're actually Cuckoo Cowboy has left the session as well, so experiencing more internet issues. But yeah, when Snoop left, I think Azza, not realizing he was a ghost, went straight into his ghost and then broke, which nearly actually, C Marino nearly went straight up the rear of his car, so that could have been a terrible incident, just like what happened on the main straight. But luckily, quick reaction times didn't cause that. But yeah, one Aston scoring alright points and one not having the best race. So Svit and Snoopaloop look to be the championship contenders at the moment, but Snoopaloop's got to drive his absolute heart out, and Svit's got to just absolutely have the worst strap today. Snoopaloop wants any chance, but he doesn't look as fast as Svit today.
No, not quite. Certainly over the last few laps, it's been more so, you know, it's looked like, you know, as soon as Svit was behind Snoop, he was trying to make moves, and it didn't take him long to make the move done. Here we go. Safety car's in this lap, and since Snoop's not behind him, we'll see if he can get back before the safety car comes in, because if he can't, then it could be curtains for him. As we see the field backing up once again, Philly not going anywhere near that right pedal as they go through these final few corners now. The whole field backing right up. Everyone doing well to not get any front wing damage off one another, especially with that blind exit to that right-hander leading into the stadium section. Looks like Philly's going to play the exact same card as last race start, but he's lost it on the throttle coming out of the corner. He's sacrificed his lead, thrown it away.
So that was very shocking for Philly there, who seems to just lost his actual whole front wing. So Philly's day is just not gone well, and I feel so bad for Philly there. He gets a 5-second time penalty. That would just be the ending point for me. But yeah, already Severe up into P3, as up into P4 as Snookloop's AI doesn't look like they're holding ground at all. As Cappy looks to be trying to make an overtake. So is Skipper on Schmuck. Cappy moves himself up into P12 as Zilla is fighting Naps, as those two trying to get past each other, as Cappy nearly oars Siphon and Cappy. Siphon has a massive lose of the rear there. Cappy goes down the inside. Siphon, that could be a bit dangerous. A bit scuffy there, but a bit clean, and yeah, so they hold positions there. So yeah, poor Super has gone all the way down to 6 now. His internet not holding up the best. But yeah, Catino now, who's on the alternate strat, looks to be now behind, closely followed Nico, and also Severe also looking closely try get the lead and also take home the championship this afternoon.
That's right. Ever since the safety car came in, we saw Kurt try to go around the outside of Nico on the run into turn 1. Didn't quite work, but since Zvit made them, since the safety cars come in, Zvit had a bit of a gap to the two in front of him, but through the middle sector, he's just pulled it right back because we have a yellow flag. Is that Naps who's gone around? It is.
Yeah, Hazahawk also collected the barrier on the final corner. There was a lot of yellow flags there as, I think, what's it called? Muck, who was running so well in P8 there, spun and then came back onto the track, which resulted in Naps getting scared by his ghost and spun. But I think Snookloop still hasn't joined back and is losing so many positions.
Yeah, he's already lost 2 since the safety car came in, or in theory after Philly's spin. And yeah, it's not going well for him. His AI is still slightly adrift of C Marino, but over the last half a lap it has been steadily going up, especially going through these traction zones. The AI not having the bravery of the good old human. So yeah.
Nico looks to have made a mistake actually, and seems to be trying to now seems to be trying to actually make that gap he just lost, but now Spit is also now right on the rear of Coutinho. So we have another yellow flag. It seems to be Kufu Cowboy. So just all these championship leaders seem to be just crumbling under pressure today. Was Naps flies across the chicane there. It was Siphon and Schmuck are battling at the moment. The Cappy's actually moved up into P10 there. Is it contact? Siphon has hit Schmuck into the stadium section, and Schmuck's day is just getting worse. And he gets a 5-second time penalty for corner cutting.
Yeah,
this game is not
that is getting appealed. Yeah, this game's known for that sort of stuff, isn't it? Especially through through sections like that. He has 2 into turn 1. He's made the move stick. He's got plenty of pace, even against Kurt on those mediums.
Seems to have used his whole battery though, as it's already dropped down to already 20% when Coutinho's got 44. So you got to counter in the fact that if Coutinho wants to, he can just use his whole battery down the main straight and re-overtake Vic if he pleases. Because we have Philly, who seems to be trying to make up that lost ground. 16 seconds behind now, so unfortunate day for Philly, who looked to be comfortable in the lead of the race. But yeah, those mediums on Coutinho's car don't seem to be pleasing him at the moment.
No, it doesn't look like they've held up quite as long as he would have hoped for. Again, the predicted pit lap is about lap 16, so would have been hoping, as would Zilla at the moment, that they're just hanging for just that little bit longer. Well, it looks like that's not going to work out this time. But Zvit is not wasting any time, and he wants the championship and he wants the glory of P1 with it. Because in his position right now, he does not need to push. His nearest rival is Snoop in P7, and his internet is still not giving him any favours. He's now got the 2 Haas's right behind him for company. Skipper made it through at the end of last lap as well. So, and at the moment we've got Siphon in P10. He's again making it for lost ground. Again, not a lot of progress here. Speaking of progress, here he goes. He's going to go on the attack on Nico going into turn 1. Around the outside, is he going to keep his nose in? No, he backs out of it. Again, no need to make really rash manoeuvres, especially at this point in the race. At the moment, he's doing this for fun, you'd feel. He's in no position and need to grab the lead from Nico.
Yeah, and also I think Siphon has cleared your boy Cappy. And also, both Pastors are actually driving a fantastic race at the moment, up in P7 and 8. So awesome job for Recon, who has come back after his, was it 6-month holiday? Something along that. But yeah, a lot of people are just trying to just make up lost ground, which did happen after the past few safety cars and incidents, same as Naps, Siphon, Snoop Loop, who seems to be still ghosted. I have heard from HK that his game has crashed. So he is through that moment. So hopefully we can get him back as quick as possible.
Let's have a look. Our closest battle on track at the minute looks like it's for P11 between your boy Cappy and Belladat. Again, they both run each other, not completely dry. Cappy's actually got a fair bit left. He'll be using that heavily on the defense, especially it looks like coming into turn 1 this next lap. Belladat all over the back of him. His tyres at 5 laps fresher. Looks like he's making the most of that right now. Coming through the final corner, trying to take as wide a line as possible, keep the steering as open as possible as they come onto the straight. Cappy gets actually a very good exit coming onto the straight.
Yeah, also Nap right behind also looks to be trying to shape up an overtake on Schmuck, but yeah, Cappy and Belladat seems to just be... Belladat with 0% ERS cannot keep up with Cappy, who's later on the brakes here. Seems to be that Cappy seems to keep the car controlled. Oh, and they make contact! Belladat has hit the rear of Cappy. He's still got his ERS on, so maybe he's shocked him a little bit. But still with 0% ERS. Nap's now using ERS. Seems to go alongside to the left. Goes later on the brakes. Can he make the corner? Yes, he does. Moves up into P12. So instead of Belladat making a position, he loses the position. And still with his ERS on. Has he got... Is it broken, or has he just forgot to turn it off or something?
Yeah, I'm not sure. That is really unusual. And of course, when you've got the ERS open going through traction zones, it just tempts the car more and more into spinning those back wheels and losing you even more time. So we hope it's a glitch, because it's not the sort of thing you would expect to see a driver doing. Although the ERS is now empty now, so any unwanted errors that may cause are now going to be completely negated. As we see heading into turn 1, Svit's going to have another go at the lead. He does want it. He wants it big. He's going to go around the outside again, has to slot in behind. Can't quite get enough overlap on Nico heading into turn 1. Again, ERS may be having a little bit of a part in there. He's got 20% less battery than the man in front of him, but regardless, again, no need to make any bold moves at the minute. We're just shy of half race distance, so plenty of time to make your move. And of course, a mandatory pit stop still to fulfill.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to see if any people would be looking to try to the undercuts. I actually see C. Marino, who seems to be on the pace today, makes an overtake on Skipper there, as we do have a yellow flag through sector 1.
Cars has gone around,
yeah. But no, C. Marino and Skipper putting up a lovely fight, and also it's Zilla now seeming to try and get past the two of them. So yeah, these two are now in a massive two-way race, and also Svit and Nico still only 5 tenths separating those two heading onto the DRS straight. Will we see a change of the leaders? Zilla actually seems to have overtaken Skipper there.
He grabs him right, coming into that right-hander.
Marino has a massive snap of the rear there.
Yeah, trying to pull out a gap to try and get himself out of striking range coming into turn 1 and turn 4 even. Not quite working out, he's now got all the defending to do.
Now it's just allowing Recon to actually move up. That's off. Finally, Snoop Loop has finally joined, but he is now out of contention pretty much for this race, as the person he is fighting, Svit, is now looking to try and take the lead off Nico, as now Zilla seems to be trying to go later on the brakes than Zilla. Well, they give each other as much room as possible there. It's very clean between these two. It's Skipper who gets the better X off the both. These two are now fighting. Zilla now pulls out to the left, trying to go down the inside here. Who's later on the brakes? It seems to be that Zilla is, but he still keeps his nose in there. Oh, they make contact!
They collided.
They have collided. I don't think Zilla would have expected C. Marino to actually keep his nose in there, which has resulted in contact in the middle sector, which has now allowed Recon to move up, but seems to now nearly fight his teammate. But Recon
lets him have it, it looked like, yeah.
Recon doesn't seem like he's got the pace. But now, Super Loop's left again. Oh, this day is just getting worse for him. But yeah, this battle between the top from 5th to 8th is so exciting.
No, there's not much to choose between them in pace. As soon as one looks like they're getting a break, there's a little mistake. As we see, again, a missed apex from C Marino. He's not having a lot of not having a lot of good karma with that corner. And now again, he's got all the defending to do. Skipper gets a bit snaky in the rears coming out of that corner on the ERS now. It's a 3-car train. You're going to see him go 3 wide on the run into turn 1. You'd bank on it, wouldn't you? Skipper moves to the left. He's going to try and clear him. He's going to clear him quite comfortably, actually, heading into on the run down into turn 1.
And out of nowhere, Siphon has appeared and has now actually moved up into P8 in front. There's massive contact. What happened there?
And look, I'm getting really close between Siphon and Recon coming into turn 1, and that's cost Recon and Plate heading into turn 1, and that's going to compromise his pace for the rest of his stint if he can't get it, if he's not coming to pick this lap. But yeah. I'd like to mention, by the way, Bellinet's ERS is still on. Oh, and he's actually turned it off this time, so he must be struggling with the ERS, as it looks to be that Schmuck has overtaken him, as also C Marino and Zilla has finally moved in front of the AlphaTauri driver. But that could have been massive. Recon I don't think, really figured how big of a braking zone turn 1 was with DRS on. It actually just went straight up the rear of Siphon, which I think probably scared the hell out of Siphon there. But yeah, now he's like nearly in DRS for the main straight. I think he got it. No, he's just shy, I think.
Just shy of it.
Yeah, about 1.1 seconds off. As he comes onto the straight, we'll see if our timing has deceived us, but it doesn't look like he'll have it.
Well, it looks to be that Zilla and Skipper now looking to fight for that P5 position. Zilla moves up to the right, gets the inside line. Who's going to be later on the brakes? It seems to be that Zilla's already further enough in front, heading into turn 1. Now, will he try to fight it back? But I don't think he can. I think he mainly has to look out for that AlphaTauri in his mirrors, who has now got his on, does look to try and overtake San Marino here, but he has a big lock up there and doesn't even make the corner himself, but yeah, just slots in right behind Skipper.
Yep, and here we see now Zilla, now that he's made it through, he's gained about 7 tenths already over the first sector, making the most of those younger, fresher, rippier mediums. And we'll probably expect to see him streak out of DRS range now as they come through these sequence of sweepers at the end of the middle sector. As I'm mistaken, he loses the back end and loses all of that time he just gained, almost all of it. Now he may have to defend again going into the main straight. Oh, never mind.
C Marino, bit of a bump there. Seems to have just absolutely
big old dive button.
I'd just like to mention, by the way, Coutinho, this was the lap we're predicting, is coming into box for his hard compound tyres.
So he stretched them out for much longer than we thought we'd expect to see him.
2 leaders are now going nearly side by side heading into turn 3. Completely forgot about these guys, but it just seems to be that Nico so much better on those exits and through that final sector that Svit just has nothing to answer that. And seems to be just losing out on that main DRS straight. But I think these two are playing the long game. Svit doesn't look like he's faster than Nico today, but they need to be careful they don't back themselves up into Azza, who seems to have got about 100% battery. He is 11 seconds behind, but if something like a spin happens, he will bring him straight back into the race, which will... I know there was an Aston fan in the chat right now by the name of Recon will love.
Recon or Reblitz?
Reblitz, my bad.
Reblitz, the old Aston driver, absolutely repping his boys in the chat. Keep it coming. Coming in now.
I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. But it seems to be that Svit is now a lot closer heading into the final sector now. The gap is around 3 tenths, but Nico, if he just gets the better exit here, which he seems to be doing, just earlier on the traction, now the gap is only 4 tenths. Svit looks to be now impatient, is draining the whole battery now, is in the slipstream. Nico is weaving, he now pulls alongside him. This is for the lead of the race and the lead of the championship. He's further enough heading into turn 1, he takes the lead of the race. Svit moves up into P1.
Yeah, Nico didn't even look like he was trying to defend. He had plenty of ERS to play with, but didn't touch the button. Just a bit of lag for Svit then.
Yeah, I thought he lost it for a second, but it looks to be that Nico seems to be playing the long game here. So he try to find a bit of space to go for a switchback, but doesn't seem to be able to find it. And now it enables Svit to go into clean air. Now let's see what he can do.
Yeah, this is going to be all revealing, isn't it? How cagey was he being sitting behind Nico for all of the last 10 laps or so, even longer than that? It looks like quite a fair bit, although the dirty air does play a big part, but already he's pulled out 7.5 tenths going through that middle sector. If he can break it out of DRS range by the end of this lap, he will be laughing at the minute.
Doesn't seem like he can though, as the middle sector is where he is struggling the most and where Nico is the quickest. As you can see, he gained about 2 tenths back through that hairpin, as he has got a lovely line through there. But the thing is though, we've got to remember that ERS is probably the most overpowered thing in this whole game. As you can see, Nico is going to be draining that battery. Look at the time he's gaining. Svit has nothing to answer to this. He tries and uses his battery, but Nico now uses his battery. These guys can battle for days. Oh, and Svit goes later on the brakes. These two are battling like it's the last lap, and we always love to see this, but Nico just edges ahead, heading into turn 2, and now opens the flap, and now is enabled back into clean air like he was the past few laps. But this is entertaining.
That is fantastic battle again. Boxing clever, boxing fair. See, Svit runs a little bit wide going into turn 4 again, just trying to stay as close as he can through the rest of the circuit. Looks like all hell's breaking loose behind them, but we're focusing on this at the minute. We've had a few takers to the pits for the last couple of minutes, namely Coutinho and Azza. We saw Coutinho come in, but not so much Azza. The gap between them, 7 seconds, so it looks like, yeah, Coutinho's still comfortably got P3 at the minute. He'd need some Azza would need him to have some misfortune to lose that effective position. A safety car's out. What did we miss?
What have we missed? This will just bring everyone back in the race. Has anyone DNF'd?
I don't believe so. No one's DNF'd, but what have we seen?
What have happened here? Yeah.
Let's have a quick look. We have Snoop down in P15. That's just by virtue of being controlled by AI, although his AI has pitted him for a set of mediums.
Would Azza given a drive-through penalty?
Ooh, that'll be curtains for his challenge. Sorry, Reblets. Don't be too upset, buddy. I'm trying to have a look at who it was. What could have happened there? I mean, I'm just eyeing up trying to find people who have broken wings, mainly. As our top 2 are in the pits, this is big. Nico's going to have Svit comfortably, actually. He's still quite a big margin heading out of the pits now. 1.2 seconds at the speed limit. But of course, that's all going to be neutralised.
I saw a yellow flag and I was like, oh, has anything happened? But then, yeah, we got the safety car. Oh, Cappy actually spins under safety car conditions there, and it seems to be that Belladat and Schmuckham seem to actually pass on the safety car.
They have too, but they're all coming into the pits as well.
Look, I don't actually know. Yeah.
I think they all smell a fresh set of mediums, Apex. This is going to be something special, I think.
Very messy, and finally Snoopaloop has joined back. Will be held. He already has made his pit stop though, so it looks to be moving it back up. It seems to be.
It's going to be
moved in behind that. If you were Snoop, I would feel like all hope is lost. I would just think your championship rival 7 points in front is now on P2 and is just getting more points. You're out of the points. Do you think this could be like if Snoopaloop could try and come back and even get close a bit? That could be one of his best drives of the season. He's gonna have to drive the absolute crap out of that Ferrari. But right now, it's looking impossible, and it's looking like Svit will take the championship here.
Yeah, he's looking in the best spot at the minute, but you never know what could come on between himself and Nico. They've not been pulling punches with one another over the last few laps, so anything could happen so far, although they have been racing very cleanly with each other, clean and aggressive, which we like to see. I want to get my Abacus out, because I want to have a quick check, because of course we had Siphon P4 in the championship. He's got himself a decent amount of points. This, I believe, if my math doesn't fault me here, he'll jump up to P3 ahead of Kufu Cowboy, but will that be enough to catch Snoop's, pass Snoop in the championship? I'm not sure, but regardless, a podium result in the championship for Aston Martin will be fantastic to see for them. If indeed it does happen again. My maths isn't quite the best at the minute.
Yeah, and plus, as you got to remember, has got that drive-through penalty, so that will hurt their constructors, as will probably most likely drop back to P17. Will be a man on a mission, and we have seen that he has had pace, not as quick as the top 2 guys, but he was in contention for a podium. But sad that he has been given that penalty, which has completely ruined his race. But now, Coutinho and Zilla are on the alternate struts, so they are on hard. Most likely will get swallowed up by everyone who wasn't on the other tyres. Same as Belladat, Philly, the 2 McLarens. Good comeback from Philly after that unfortunate spin. We do know he has got pace. Same as Naps, but Naps just really inconsistent today. And the 2 Ferrari boys all the way back in P12 and P13 has not been a day to remember, but 13 laps remaining and a safety car that probably will most likely come in by the end of lap 24. That's an 11-lap sprint. So it's going to be absolute. It's just going to be so hard for these guys to try fight back, try get back on the points. But if they do it, this is going to be devil's work, and this is going to be one of the best drives. But yeah, we know what pace people have got. Knowing it's the last race of the season, we've studied who is quick and who seems to be struggling. But yeah, there are drivers there that are up there that shouldn't be. But we know that they've driven well all day. Same as Katina, he's driven awesome.
He has to again. Yeah, where did he qualify down? I think if I remember right, he was like P9 or 10, right with his teammate Freed Slim Shady. I'm afraid I'm departing from this race very early on. But yeah, he's done very well, as you've said. Although again, he is on the back foot. He has missed a pit stop in effect to everybody around him. Almost everybody in this field now, they're all on the same page. They're all on fresh mediums, and in an 11-lap sprint, those tyres will comfortably make it. If you're running the hards at the minute, you've got to make your car as wide as possible, I reckon, to try and make as much, make up as much room as you can.
Yeah, but like you said, that those hard runners will be struggling. We're just waiting for Hazardhawk just to catch back up, who is down in P17, not having the best of races today. But yeah, most people are on alternate strats, so most people didn't actually start on the didn't start on the mediums like you were supposed to. But I'm pretty sure the hard medium is faster around here. That is the normal strat you were given. But yeah, so Catino 5 laps on hards, Zilla 9 laps, Belladat and Philly 16 and 14. So those guys will be in puncture territory by the end of this race. So they're going to be careful on those tires. But with everyone behind them on fresh mediums, this is going to be a very interesting race at the end.
I reckon if you are in one of the McLarens at the minute, I'd imagine you'd be banking on another safety car. Chance to jump in for a fresh set of softs, not lose too much ground in the minute where you are, but yeah, get the safety car right as the tyres drop off that cliff, and then jump in and chop on a set of softs so that you can still be in the points playing positions come the end of the race. But the laptop game is up. It's now time for the racetrack game. To quote Mark Scaife as they come through these final corners. Now, we've seen the way Philly runs his restart so far. What's Nico going to do different? He doesn't seem as keen to back the field all the way up like Philly did, although he's braking a little bit now. Kurt gets very close to Svit.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
It's actually, there was contact there. I didn't see it, but there must have been some.
And Nico seems to be that Svit has actually jumped him and gotten the better exit, and now draining his whole battery. Seems to try and overtake here. They're both draining both their batteries here. He's just close here. Who's going to be later on the race into turn 1? This is for the championship. This is for the lead of the race. Svit edges his car in front. Svit takes the lead on the safety car restart. Now, what can Nico do to answer that question? He's now using all of his batteries. So is Nico. We do have a yellow flag in the background, but that's not distracting these guys. Svit moves himself up into P1.
That's right, making the moves he needs to make. What's Nico going to do to retaliate? We've seen they have the pace to run with each other. And it's going to be very interesting to see. Coming through this middle sector, we've seen when Svit took the lead, last time Svit took the lead, he pulled out 7/10 through this sector. But on fresh tyres, is he going to be able to get the same amount of gap? Almost just about. But still plenty of time for Nico to pull that gap back through 2 DRS straights and maybe getting into turn 1. Snoop's grabbed a penalty. Getting from bad to worse once again. Gained a position after the flag dropped, but yeah, again, time penalty, presumably for running off the track for one of those twisties.
Sorry for cutting you off. There's a bit of damage on the track. There is a lot of squabble going on right now. As you can see, Snoopy actually moves up in the top 10. I think Billy has slammed the barrier on the final corner, and I don't actually know who got the damage.
Yeah, it was like it just went everywhere. Then it was hard to call.
Yellow flag, like someone spun. But yeah, now Snoopaloo trying to move up into P8 here, or is Phillies later on the race. I'm just trying to find who has got the damage front wing. It's Siphon. So Siphon wanted to
Is it Siphon?
Yeah, Siphon has got a broken front wing. But yeah, I saw it over the track, and I was just like, something's gone wrong here. And I did think he has made contact with C Marino, as they're still making contact. These two are giving it to each other today.
And they've been remorseless with one another. And it's causing the whole train of cars behind them to back up. As what's happened behind, Snoop and Skipper have had a collision. Snoop now down in a pit. Snoop's lost his front wing, has he? He's got no wing at all.
Oh, it's another safety car.
Oh, goodness me.
So, another safety car. What do you think people do here? Box for the softs?
I'm not sure, because, I mean, it's one of those things where if everyone in front of you does it, of course you do it. But if you're up at the front, how much do you want to keep your track position? I mean, over 10 laps, I doubt the softs would be competitive for a full 10 laps.
But you got to remember, though, this is under safety cars. Azza's given another drive-through. He is so prone to these drive-throughs today. Oh, I feel so bad for Azza. And, yeah, so Siphon gets a free pit stop, though, so he will be boxing onto the soft. So does Philly. And I do think they are the... Oh, Siphon's... I mean, sorry.
Did you just grab another one?
Yeah, I think another one.
Oh. He's going to...
Yeah. So
I'll tell you what, they're not going to be happy with him at the minute, I don't think.
No. So Snoop with a front wing change comes in. Belladat, who seems to have been on those hearts for 19 laps, just needed a fresh change. As a boxing, I think he tried setting his drive-through, but I think he wanted to go the alternate straight, even though that still won't work. It's as retires in the pits.
He's just pulled in to retire, yeah.
So I don't think his day... It's not been the greatest of days. But yeah, so... We've got two people fighting for the championship out of the points. One person is in the lead of the championship, leading the race, who looks to be the most comfortable driver out there today.
Yep,
so,
I'll tell you what, and after that last lap and a half of squabbling in another safety car, a man who's made great gains is Kufu Cowboy. He's jumped from, I believe, 14th, 15th up into P7 now. He's now right up in the points, and if he gains even more positions, could be threatening P2 on Snoop. In fact, if the race finished now, he would, I believe, if my maths is correct, he would grab P2 in the championship from Snoop. So that's big for him at the minute. Going for that big silver medal with a silver arrow.
Yeah, you can see Nico is so eager to get away, moving alongside Svit, trying his absolute hardest, try and get this race going underway, which I think the safety car will peel into the pits by the end of the next lap, as Skipper and Belladat are just waiting to catch up. But I'd just like to mention, by the Cappy has also driven a lovely race, starting P17 is up into P8. So I've got to give credit where it's due. And also C Marino, P5 for AlphaTauri after having not a great season, especially Hazahawk has moved, has boxed. Looks to be trying to go for the alternate strap.
Again, yeah, lots of moving and shaking in this field. That's what really close racing and a fair few safety cars and strategy shake-ups can do. And yeah, for these guys, it's played right into their favour, and all credit to them for it as well. Zilla as well, he's made up plenty of room, although his tyres are going to be feeling pretty average right now, especially given his company. 13 laps on those boys, but regardless, he's shown well. He's done well to maintain his position. Same with Kurt coming into over that last lap and a half on those much older, harder compound tyres. So, you know, if that's any indication, if we get another safety car and they get a chance to chuck on some softs, who knows what they'll be able to do with these front guys as well. But yeah, indeed, we've had some soft takers, those who pitted, namely Siphon and Philly. They have shown great pace over the course of this weekend, namely Philly, who of course spun up the end of that second safety car. Oh, Kufu Cowboys had more internet gremlins at an even worse time than last time, with only 8 laps to go coming across the line this time. The internet has failed him once again.
Yeah. And as we get confirmation now that safety car will be in this lap, we have got Svit, a different leader, leading the way as it was Nico, moving alongside, trying his absolute hardest to get this guy to get going. And also, Catino has driven a lovely race today. He has got a 5-second time penalty, which will be investigated after the session, but which will put Zilla up into the podium positions. But when will Svit go?
He's waiting for it. He's going to go. It's gone now. He's given himself very little room to play with. I think that was a little bit too late. And Nico's right on him straight away. Both heavy on the ERS coming down the front straight. Nico looks for a chance to pull out. He's got no room on the right. He has to go left. He's going to have to brake really hard and run it well wide and carry the speed for the left-hander that follows, and it's not going to be able to do it. Svit covers him off nicely.
Yeah, see Marino trying to get the podium position in the back there. Moves. Tries to get their overtake on Zilla, who is on the hards, but they are both draining their batteries as much as possible. This, because you got to remember that Coutinho has gotten that 5-second time penalty. Zilla nearly cuts him off there. This is the corner who's been making contact with Siphon all day. It's just so tricky to go alongside. He's still got his nose in there, trying to get that last position. Oh, and Zilla goes a bit wide there. Has got the better exit though than Zilla and moves himself up into P4. So now, Steve, the AlphaTauri driver is onto the podium. And also, those soft runners are already trying to overtake pretty much everyone as Siphon goes a bit wide there. But Siphon, dismembering Schmuck, and also Noopaloop is now right between them. Or as Schmuck has gone a bit wide there and has lost the position to Snoop, who now is trying to go down the inside of Philly. Oh, and they make contact! Philly has hit Snoop.
Well, the two of them can just not find any luck. Philly breaks his front wing on the fence as he regains his composure. Not too well, I must say. Not what it, again, for both of these guys, it's just getting from bad to worse. Safety car by safety car for those two.
C. Marino has gone into the pits. I mean, sorry, not C. Marino. Schmuck has gone into the pits. I have no idea why he done that. Yeah.
It must have been for damage because there was a lot of biffing and barging in the midfield and the back of the field.
He is changing his front wing right now, but yeah, that was very scruffy, and I feel really bad for Snoop there. I do actually think that was just probably a racing incident. I just caught the last bit of it, and I saw that Philly and him made contact, but now it's not been his day today. He looks to have, I don't think he looks to have received damage. He hasn't, but nah, his ERS is gone, he's tired, he just doesn't look like all his confidence is gone, so yeah, this doesn't look like his day. As also, Svit and Nico now trying to get near each other, but I don't think that Nico will have anything to answer. But yeah, as you were mentioning at the start of the race, by the way, that ERS around here is not good. No one has been able to hold their ERS besides Azza. And
what's happening there? Kufu out of massive lag spike, and it's given Siphon a red kind of position. Sorry to cut you off, so carry on.
Yeah, it's all good. But yeah, Cappy and Coutinho get another pen, by the way, while I was talking. But yeah, so Zillo is definitely going to be struggling right now with, he's only got, his tyres are 16 laps old. He is definitely going to be absolutely struggling on that compound. But yeah, Kufu Cowboy having more internet problems with Snooper that moves past him. But yeah, very unfortunate for him. As Siphon and Cappy are now battling. Cappy trying to go later on the brakes here. Just trying to see, Cappy wants to battle this, but seems to have backed out. Just trying to get his car to the end of the race.
Absolutely, and at this rate, getting your car to the end will land you in a pretty good spot. And of course, Siphon, he's making great gains at the minute, making the most of those softs. He is doing well at the minute, and yes, if the race were to end now, he would grab P2 in the P3 in the championship from Kufu Cowboy. So, not gone all his way, but at the minute, it's going to land him a good result at the minute with P7.
You can see right now, by the way, that C. Marino is trying his absolute hardest to try to get past Coutinho, who looks to be holding him up, actually, because he's got a penalty. So I didn't actually realise that he won't get a podium if he keeps that penalty. But he needs to get past Coutinho as quick as possible to get him to try and hold Zilla up, or he'll have no chance of keeping that P3 spot. Maybe even, I think probably he'll go down to like P6 or 7 maybe. Now he's probably going to drain most of his battery. Yes, he is. He wants to get past Coutinho, who is holding him up massively. Now, with ERS, first DRS, doesn't look like it's much of a fight here for Coutinho, but he is holding his ERS here like an absolute Chad. But yeah, now C. Marino has moved in front of him and up into the podium position for the time being.
Oh, collision between Zilla and Naps has just tapped Zilla's back wheel and spun him round. That is not what you'd like to see from, to be completely honest, against Zilla, who's doing such a good job on those 17 lap old hards. He was holding his own. In fact, giving Coutinho and C. Marino something to think about, but now he's been tapped by Naps and not going his way. Completely flipped on its head. But that's given Siphon another free position. He is now up into P6 now and breathing down Naps' neck or thereabouts. He will be by the end of this lap for sure. Coming through at the front. I'll just check up at the front again. Now the DRS has been enabled, Nico has been looking up, he's been shaping up moves a little bit more, but burning a little bit more ERS to try and get there. They're still fairly close on charge at the minute, but you'd figure that Zvit just has that little bit more to defend with, but Nico has got a fantastic exit.
Skipper has just hit Snoopalo. That wasn't That was very, what's the best way to put it? Not nice, because Snoop was actually in front heading into the... Oh, no, Skipper's just gone to hit Cappy. So Skipper getting the elbows out and being a bit rough towards the end of the race.
No friends.
Yeah, he just sent it on Cappy, which has resulted in him losing a lot of time here. But yeah, now all he has to do is try and defend off Snoopy, who doesn't look like he's going to be nice the second time around.
That is true. And while that was all happening on the run into turn one, Nico nailed it. Oh, yep, Snoop's grabbed himself a penalty. Again, not going too well for him. But Nico grabbed the lead coming down the front straight on Svit, grabbed the DRS and used the slipstream in that great exit he got out the last corner. The lead is now his, but I'm fairly confident now that Svit is running a fair bit more wing than Nico, because he is sticking right to him going through those sweepers, which is almost impossible to do around this place. In fact, he's going to have a dive into this next right-hander.
And they're going side by side into the stadium here. It looks to be that Nico looks to be trying to play the long game. Oh, and he's lifted a bit, trying not to give him DRS. A little bit cheeky there, but he proceeded to actually cost himself a bit of time. And Coutinho is now losing a lot of position as C. Marino has given another time penalty. That looks to be his podium gone for today, as there's a lot of penalties are counting up. And Nap's looking to be so much faster. As Siphon, one of the only soft runners to be pretty much in the top 5 at the moment. He will now be a man on a mission who's now moved himself in front of Naps. And Siphon, after a terrible day, looks to be in contention of a podium right now.
Yeah, and he looks like he's going to grab it pretty comfortably as well. Although, yeah, you'd figure it as well, because his tyres are younger and they're fresher and they're softer. But how quickly will they give up the ghost? Do they drop off like a cliff around here, or is it somewhat gradual? It's hard to know. Nico also just did a complete copy of the move he did last lap. That may be a tactic, giving up position halfway through the lap just so you can take it on the straight the next lap by. I figure Svit will be wise to that now. In fact, although either that or he's just dropped a bit more time this lap just through pace alone. But now coming through these final 2 sectors, there'll be 2 to go this time by. So if you've got any cards left to play, now's the time you play them, because you won't have much.
A 3-second time penalty there. That's going to really affect his chances of keeping his position, but I don't actually think he's going to lose any positions there. He's just going to stay within 3 seconds to... Oh, it's Naps has gone wide there. Really, like, Matt is locked up. And now him and Coutinho are going side by side here. Well, Naps just bumps himself in front, but I think he's lost DRS here. And now has, I think, dropped out of the 3 seconds to C. Marino. But I don't think he has just yet. But now Coutinho looks to be trying to shape up a move now. But it looks to be that also Siphon now moving himself up into that position.
Cimarrone's going to make him work for it, but he's not going to have to work too hard. Well, he's kept the nose in there. They've touched, but they've kept themselves away from spinning, and now Siphon's grabbed himself a podium spot. Of course, he would have already grabbed it by virtue of all the penalties around him, but yeah, now he has it on the road, and this is going to... Right now, it's looking like a great result to round off his season, and again, I'm going to have to check the maths again, but I'm pretty sure this will grab him P2 in the championship over Snoop and Kufu Cowboy.
Yeah, and Siphon has driven a really decent race today, not having the best, not having the best start, but has made back a lot of positions even after all the contact. Now with 2 laps to go, Svit with 51 ERS, Nico with 40% ERS. I think Svit's going to want to win it on track, want to win. So at this point, if he doesn't make any mistakes heading into the final lap, he is crowned champion of Academy for this season.
Absolutely, coming on to the last lap now. How much is he going to want to beat Nico? How much of the bragging rights is he going to want? You got to say it's pretty intense at the minute. Into turn 1, he's not close enough. But we've seen how quick he is through the middle sector when he's been right behind Nico. He showed it last lap and 2 laps before. Can he do it again? Nico gets a great exit coming onto that second straight. So we're going to see no moves into turn 4.
This has really been affecting him all day. Svit actually going personal best in the first sector. Definitely see he is pushing the absolute wheels off that car, trying to get in front of Nico now, but now making a little bit of a mistake going a bit wide there. The gap is now about 7 tenths, going to go to about 8 tenths here. Now, this is very strong, the middle sector. This is where he'll make back all that time, just linking together those corners, hugging the apex. flat on the floor, lifts a bit, hugs the apex, now goes flat. ERS on. Nico's blinking. He comes up into the final sector now. He looks to try and have a little bit of a look here. Or see Marino. No.
Lost it
He
right
has
at the end.
time. Well, let's not distract the fact that now Svit so close. Will he try and have a final corner lunge? He has a look. Doesn't seem to be able to make it. But this, in the Principality of Mexico, takes home the championship. That is Svit, a championship winner for Academy in Season 6.
Absolutely deserved it. Played the race perfectly. Just sat up at the front. Did all that he needed to do. Siphon brings home P3 in the race and P2 in the championship as well. So he'll be mad stoked with that. Naps is going to come home to P4, but that's where the penalties start. We're going to see how people get relegated as they come through the field now.
Yeah,
Snoop brings home P10, but loses
down.
his point due to penalties.
Yeah. So Snoop Loop, not his day today. That was just, I've got to, my heart is out for Snoop. He's definitely going to be not happy about that, but hopefully he comes back next season stronger than ever. We'll see a different Snoop Loop, and he hopefully will try his hardest, but Snoop definitely not having the best of days today. But that was the end of Academy for this season. And what a way to wrap it up.
A true, great race. And of course, Nico, fantastic racecraft all night. He showed fantastic pace in qualifying, and yeah, he brought it through to the race. Fantastic fight between himself and Svit that seemed to last almost the entire length of the race. And yeah, he deserves that one big time. What a race to win. The season finale gives a good impression as well of your talent for the next season too. So yeah, plenty to unpack. The FIA, as per usual, they look like they've got a bit of a busy week ahead of themselves, but regardless, yeah, what a race. So yeah, there's your unofficial results. Nico takes the win from Svit. Siphon grabs P3 and P2 in the championship as well. Fantastic showing from the Aston Martin man right at the end of the season. Did what he needed to do right when it counted. Grabs P3 and P2 in the title. He was a fair bit back. He was a bit of a dark horse, and yeah, he's picked off 2 positions fantastically. By no means he was out of the chaos, but he managed to keep his nose clean throughout and made the most of those softs right at the end. Turned out to be a great call. And just like that, he grabs himself a top 3 in the championship, or P2 in that matter. So yeah, he'd be very happy with that.
Whoever's engineer for Siphon today, an absolute stunning job with telling him to box towards the end there. But I remember he did have a damaged front wing. Maybe the damaged front wing actually helped him out there. But yeah, that is our final results today. Svit taking home the championship. He's going to be absolutely stoked with that. Nico, of course, can't defeat the fact that he did win today's race. He drove utmost amazing, and there's nothing I could fault that Nico didn't do wrong. He played his cards correctly towards the end of that last safety car, and that was amazing. But yeah, a lot of championship contenders not having the day today. Snoop and Kufu Cowboy having mad internet problems, and also, yeah. But yeah, so have you got any comments to say about that?
Oh, I'm not sure. Not any sweeping comments. Just yeah, again, just what a race. Someone have a nap now. That was insane. But again, yeah, Svit, I've got to say, hats off to him. Kufu Cowboy and Snooper Loop, again, I genuinely believe they could have had much better races. But yeah, it just didn't favour them tonight. Internet issues for the both of them. And then once the racing got back underway, once they got a chance, it was just, they couldn't get away from the chaos. So they'll come back swinging next season, I have no doubt. And yeah, again, it's Novices League's game, because I reckon all the guys at the top of the championship deserve to be moved up a division. They've definitely shown the pace throughout the whole season. Even if it didn't go their way tonight, they've made the impression over the last 8 weeks that, yeah, they deserve a spot.
Would you like to bring our championship winner in?
I think so. I think there's no better thing to do right now. Let's bring him in. Hang on a minute. There we go. How are you, Svit? Congratulations on the title.
Thanks, Wes. And I think we got constructors as well, didn't we?
I believe you did as well. You and Naps pushed really well through the whole race. Again, a lot of misfortune fell for Mercedes. So we'll get the abacus out after the stream. But yeah, I believe you may be right.
Yeah, sweet. That was hard. I was throwing everything at Nico. Like, I just could not get past him. We were too even on pace throughout that whole race.
Oh, no, it was an amazing battle between you two. Such smart but aggressive racecraft between you two. Well, how are you feeling? I mean, we saw that you had a lot of strength through sector 2, and you did make a dive on Nico with about 3 or 4 laps to go going into that final sector. How much were you banking on trying to do that again on that last lap?
Honestly, I think it was a bit silly of me trying to go for the move at that point on that lap. I should have left it to the straight, but I was thinking of sending it, but I was like, the championship means more than the win, so I just decided to hold P2, not try and risk anything silly that could have lost it for us, and stay composed.
Okay, yes, Svit, you and Nats have taken home the Constructors' Championship by 13 points, so congratulations to you and Alfa Romeo for a very successful season together. So hopefully
Thank you, guys.
and also congratulations, man. That is the championship for Academy. So awesome job today, and there's nothing I could probably fault. You drove perfectly. You were stuck behind a dirty air behind Nico, but I think you and him realised that you're better off just DRS training away, letting you have your own fights. And you deserve the championship. You drove amazingly all season. You didn't crack under pressure, but and you're totally deserving of the championship. And I want you to just take this comments and just realise that, you hopefully we see you future in like Elite and Prodigy, which you have shown you have got magnificent pace to be up there. But congratulations, man, and well driven.
Thank you, boys.
Thank you. Have a great night. Bask in this win. Again, the next season will be just around the corner before you know it.
I was going to say, do you want to bring in Snoop, but I don't think he's in the best mood to talk. I still want to. He's probably not in the best mood. Do you want to bring in Siphon, maybe?
Yeah, we'll bring in Siphon. He's grabbed P2 in the title. I'd say it'd be great.
Nico is not here.
I know, I would have loved to talk to our race winner, but we don't see him, unfortunately. But regardless, let's bring in Siphon, Let's see.
He's right.
Yeah, hello.
G'day, Siphon, how are you? Congrats on the podium, and you've got P2 in the championship unofficially at the minute. How was it out there?
Yeah, I mean, I started P3 and ended P3, but at one stage I was lost, and then I was the middle, it was chaos. Lots of penalties, lots of safety cars, but in the end, it was a good result, I guess.
Yeah, usually you got right in the thick of it. It didn't seem like you could catch a break during that whole race. It was just cars all around you.
Yeah, I had a few run-ins, but besides that, it was I didn't get penalties, which I think was the saving grace, because everyone around me had at least 3 or 6 penalties, 3 or 6 seconds, so.
Yeah, it did work out very well for you. That calling for the soft tyres for that last stint was a bit of a masterstroke, and you carved up that field through over that last stint pretty well, it looked like. You especially compared to the other soft runners who seem to struggle a little bit more. So, good job with that. But it's just I don't know. I'm trying to think of a question to ask.
It was the softs. I'll just say I had wing damage and I went another lap, and then halfway through that lap there was a safety car, and it was just so lucky because I got to fix my wing and I also got softs, so it was just perfect. But besides that,
Well, again, fantastic run. Sorry.
But Siphon, you had it wasn't the best day for you, but you really came back in like the end, I guess. So you had a pretty shocking start. No offense, you dropped down back to P10. Did you have contact on the start?
Oh, I can't remember. I kicked out my monitor plug, so my screen went off in the 30-second start. So then I was in like windowed mode and all this crap. So that's why I had a bad start, and then it froze. But I don't think I had contact, which at least was good, because that would have been really bad at the start.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, luck on favour. Everyone does it, but you've pulled it through, and I'm doing a pretty good job. So again, congrats on the P3. Where are your eyes looking for next season?
I don't know. I'm just not really fussed at this point. I'm just don't really know yet. Haven't thought about that, but
that's right. Just go with the flow, see what happens.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Well, again, thank you for coming on. Congrats on P3 and P2 in the championship. We'll let you go to your Aston Martin boys and celebrate with them. What do you say?
Yes. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
No worries. Take care. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too.
I think I want to bring in I think I want to bring in Snoop, because there's no one else actually in their calls at all today.
No worries, we'll bring in Snoop. I suppose so. Yeah, a bit of a consolidated words. Hello, Snoop. How are you going? Not
Hey,
quite the
fellas,
best
how are
night.
we?
Yeah, we're doing pretty good. Looks like you had a bit of misfortune out there, but yeah, I don't know. Didn't quite work out your way. What can you tell us about it?
Yeah, it's just like I had a pretty hectic start. There was so much going on, and then my internet just dropped. I bought a new Wi-Fi adapter for my PC today, thinking that was gonna help, but it had something to do with the internet provider. I just called them before, and they said that it dropped out from their end. So I just lost internet for literally like most of the race there. Came on towards the end. But yeah, and then when I joined back in after the safety car, I had the cold tyre glitch. So I started on like minus 10 degrees tyres. So I was just vigorously warming them up, absolutely smashing them. But I only got them up to about 50 degrees. And then, yeah, come racing time, it was game over. I really just threw everything out there. I accidentally punted Belladat. So apologies to him. I spun him around, but yeah, it was just a mess. On the safety car restart, I didn't have any messages coming up saying that the safety car was out, the safety car was in. So when Philly took off, I had no idea what was going on. It was just showing me a yellow flag. So it was just a really, really, unfortunate night, to be honest. Not the way I wanted it to go down, but congrats to, did SV end up winning the race? I don't even know who won.
Nico ended up racing, but yeah, man, I always cut to see if your day. I'd like to run on board to see if you're making up any positions. But yeah, you had the contact with. I'm pretty sure it was Philly. It
wasn't a brake check, but I think a few guys are just into that stadium section. They just brake pretty early, and there's not much I can do. I had to give it everything, and that's what I did. So sucks that I couldn't get up there and give SV a battle. It would have been nice to get amongst it. I felt like I had a really good start, and I felt really comfortable. But yeah, just unfortunately, internet issues out of my control really took me out of the chance of having a crack at it today. So yeah, it's just the way it is sometimes with sim racing. You got to take the wins with the losses. No wins yet, but yeah, that's the way it goes. The internet drops out. There's not much you can do to it. It is pretty funny, but I reckon I clocked up about 1,500 steps trying to find the best place because I used my hotspot on my phone to get back into the lobby, and I ran around my house trying to find the best spot for it to get like the best signal. So I definitely racked up a few steps trying to figure out the best spot for it. But yeah, it's just one of those things. I'll just have to cop it on the chin and have a crack in novice next year. But yeah, really unfortunate way for me to lose the championship.
But yeah, man, what's it called? I think it was. Did you feel defeated? Pretty much, you knew you'd lost after the first safety car. There's all in racing. I remember last year Abu Dhabi, last lap safety car. But yeah, I felt really bad. The whole day you were just stricken with bad luck, 9 seconds penalties, spinning, getting just stuck behind traffic, internet issues, just not liking you today. And yeah, my heart's out for you, man. I don't think you were always in it for a shot of the championship, but Svit has just driven so well this year or this season. Sorry, but yeah, I think
nothing away from him. He 100% deserved it as well. And I feel for Kufu as well. Same thing. I think he had some issues, so it's unfortunate, but you can't take anything away from Zvit. He drove really well. He's been consistent. He's had the most wins in our division, I believe. He set the tone at at Monza at the start of the season by taking a pretty hefty win. So, congratulations to him. But yeah, it's just hopefully next season I can give him a battle that he deserves, because I think we had a good rivalry between the three of us. Sort of these last few races, there was crashes and good results and bad results for everybody. So unfortunately, it's not the way I wanted it to end. But what a season it's been, and we just have to take it as it is. Not much we can do about it, but that's racing.
Yeah, man.
Sure is. Got it in one.
Yeah, so you will see me back in novice next season in a couple of weeks' time, and it was nice to have a first crack in the ARL, but I think I've learned a lot this season, so we'll be ready to roll next season. And yeah, we'll be back out on track and hopefully taking a few wins.
Absolutely. Well, from us, I'd say thank you for coming on, and yeah, again, enjoy your mid-season break. Oh, sorry, inter-season break, and yeah, come back swinging, I reckon, because you've definitely got what it takes.
Now, awesome. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Cheers, Nick.
No worries. Have a good night.
Who else is in here? It's Apex. Beautiful Apex.
Oh, stop it. All right, next time I commentate, I'll give you all the attention, all right?
Beautiful. That's what I like to hear, mate. All right, take care, fellas.
All right, love you, Snoop. Take it easy.
Cheers.
Man.
Catch up.
Well, there you go. You reckon they could just about do us for the night?
Yeah, I think that's it for tonight.
There we go. Well, the first of 4 finales for this weekend, and it's not disappointed. It's brought in plenty. It's brought in triumph. It's brought heartbreak, and yeah, we're going to do it all again tomorrow in Novice League. So, yep, 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Everyone better be there. Local time, of course.
We hope to see you there, and yeah, thank you for a very entertaining and up and down season of Academy. We is it season 7 next season?
I believe it's season 6, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, hang on, is it season 7?
I think we are in season 6, but yeah. What I'm trying to get is we hope to see everyone next Monday for the Spanish and inaugural Grand Prix of Academy, where we see new faces, new drivers, and that will to win to get that championship. So thank you, everyone, for tonight. I've been your commentator, Apex, and Nick has been our caster. So thank you, everyone, for watching.
Thank you. Have a good night, everybody.